What's going on, my friends? It's Dave Sharpe. Welcome to Wake Up Legendary. And we've done it again. What can I say? We have done it again. You have done it again. We have yet another amazing guest this morning, the one, the only Kellee Roberts. You know her. You love her. Friends, it's a beautiful opportunity this morning, just before we start, to know that in the background, we have launched something brand new, something exciting, something spectacular, something powerful, something we're proud of, something people are getting amazing results and giving incredible feedback with. We have recently launched the Confidence Challenge. And my friends, it is an incredible experience you must go through. It's 5 steps. Okay, 5 steps. Get started for just $7 over at legendarymarketer.com/enroll, or click the link to whoever shared this with you. With that being said, my friends, let's jump into this. I'm excited to talk to our guest this morning. She's one of those people, when they say it's easier for a client to become a friend than a friend to become a client, well, she has made that true for me. She's definitely a client. She's definitely a member of our community. She's definitely also an affiliate and has been a brand ambassador of Legendary over the past many years. And I'm proud to call her a friend. Kellee Roberts, welcome back to the show.
Thanks. Hi, Dave. Hi, everybody.
How are you?
Excited to be here. It's been a little while.
Yeah, the last time you were on the show, this was January of this year, but you had been on 1 or 2 times before that as well. And a huge part of just this whole internet marketing world and community here. A lot of people know and love your story as a teacher. I guess if I remember correctly, looking to prove to your students that affiliate marketing, online marketing was not legitimate and
Correct.
Wouldn't work. You actually tested things out in your classroom and discovered that it would work. For those who don't know exactly how you got started, give us just literally a nutshell version of that experience as a teacher, and then launching kind of into this full time and this becoming your thing back a few years ago.
Okay. Yeah. So for anybody that wants, just to clarify, I launched my business on February 27th of 2022. So I've been around for about 2.5 years now. I actually started my business. My high school students wanted to know how people make money with their social media, particularly TikTok and YouTube, because we had the high school that I taught at had a famous YouTuber that graduated from there, and a couple of them, and they wanted to know, how do these people make this happen? And I was like, few and far between. There are just not very many people that do that. And I told them, it's not a normal thing. And I wouldn't put all your eggs in that basket and hope that it happens. Right. But I told them, after some real begging on their part, my group of entrepreneurs, I told them I would look into it and see if I could get them some answers, because I didn't have any idea how any of that worked. I had been teaching entrepreneurship for 15 years prior to that. And I taught brick and mortar business, and I was very comfortable with brick and mortar business. And we were pretty good at doing that. I just didn't know how to do it online. So I went out and I started looking. I got on YouTube. I spent 3 months on YouTube and didn't get anywhere with it. And then I found this little $7 course, and I, invested my time and energy in that, and then learned all those steps. And as I was learning those steps and starting to put them into action, I took it back to my classroom. And so my high school kids and I worked on my business every single day, every day that we had class. And they helped me learn how to use TikTok. I'd ask them a lot of questions about that, but I told them, people don't make money like this. This is not normal. And I will probably fail at this, but I committed. I told them, but to prove to you that I'm going to actually really do this, I'm going to make 2 videos every single day for 30 days. And after the 30 days, we're going to reevaluate where we're at, and then we'll make a new commitment, you know? So for 30 days, I did that. And on my 31st day, I made my first commission. And that was wild. So that's how I did it. And my kids have been on board with me ever since. Basically all of my kids that were in that classroom, I would say 95% of my kids that were in that classroom with me create content online. They hop into my lives sometimes, and they're just great. So yeah, that's it. That's how I got here.
So you still have people, kids from that particular era of your life. You're no longer teaching, just for clarity, right?
Correct.
Okay.
I don't teach anymore. Yeah.
And you still have some kids who have followed you and or sought you out. Hey, where's Mrs. Roberts? Right? Oh, she's
Yeah.
on TikTok. I saw Mrs. Roberts. I mean, anybody can find anything on anyone on social media these days, and they're still following along, and you're still and you're still connected to some of them, and
Yep.
the project actually was proven to work versus not to work like you thought.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. When I had to eat my own words. I went in after my 31st day and I made my first commission. I was like, okay, guys, so apparently this does work. I just always felt like I was 45 years old when I started this. So I always felt like if I was a 45-year-old teacher from Kansas that absolutely had no idea what the heck I was doing, if I could learn how to make money doing it and then figure out how to repeat it, anybody could learn how to make money doing it and learn how to repeat it. I'm not, because
Yeah.
I had no special skills. I had no idea. I had never even been on TikTok before. I started my TikTok account specifically for this reason, because I used to make fun of my husband for being on TikTok. Like I used to make fun of him for it. Oh, it's all right.
That is so funny. That is incredible. And so over the last 2.5 years, you learned, you launched. Talk to us a little bit about being a professional, probably learner and teacher, but obviously teacher. What it was like going through the education, somewhat created by a ninth grade dropout, for Christmas sakes, online courses. Many people act like they're not a real thing. They are just online courses, online coaching. It kind of all gets clumped into one thing. Of course, the worst online course creators make everybody look bad. However, what was your experience going through that challenge, originally 15-day challenge, when you went through it 2.5 years ago? And how did you feel? What did you have to? Was there internal dialogue and limiting beliefs that came up as you were going through it that you had to quiet or silence in order to keep going, such as, Kellee, relax, listen to what they have to say. This can be legitimate stuff. Talk to us a little bit about what that experience was like for you.
I went into it with a pretty open mind. I thought, I'm going to spend $7. What the heck do I have to lose? Like, I'm going to spend $7. I'm going to learn all I can. And then I'm just, going to show a little bit to my high school kids and we'll be good to go. And I think what the $7 challenge did for me was it opened my eyes to opportunity that was out there that I had no idea even existed. And now I see opportunity online pretty much everywhere. Like it's done that for me. It helped kind of guide me in figuring out what exactly I wanted to do with it. It helped me kind of figure out what angle I wanted to take at it, like where I wanted to come from in my promoting. And just the basics of everything. Like that was it. Cause I had no idea what a sales funnel was. I had no idea what a landing page was. So I got introduced to new software, new processes, just figuring out how to be creative on my own. Those were all things. And here was my limiting belief. I have been told forever that I'm just a teacher. And I talk about this a lot. So any of you guys follow me, you know that I do this. I have always just been a teacher. Kellee and James can't go there because Kellee and James can't go on vacation with us because they're just teachers. They're just broke teachers, right? We're just broke teachers. You wouldn't understand because you're just a teacher. I have been teaching a high school classroom for 15 years at that point. So what do I know, right? That's all I'm qualified to do anymore. I'm just a teacher. I'm not qualified to do anything outside of a classroom anymore. And that was my biggest limiting belief. I truly believe that. Like that was the one thing that held me back. Like, who am I? Who am I to be able to go out there and actually be creative and start my own business and do my own thing and actually be successful with it? This is where I'm going to plug this confidence challenge. You guys, I started step 1 yesterday. My husband had open heart surgery. We'll just bring that out there. This thing launched and my husband had open heart surgery. So I have not been doing anything. But I started step 1 yesterday and my eyes were opened. Like when you do the, what's the visualization exercise? Like I went through that and my eyes were opened to some things that I didn't even know were holding me back. You guys, I've been doing this for 2.5 years and I learned things about myself yesterday that I did not know. Like I was kind of shocked by it, and kudos to you guys because that thing so far, just step 1, I am truly amazed at what it is because your mindset's everything. But sorry, I took that in a different direction.
Yeah, no, I love shameless plugs and great experience / testimonial plugs. Any sort of plug you can get started without watching, of course, Kellee. If you're watching her somewhere, I don't know if we're anywhere else out on the internet, but click her links, buy through her links. She'll certainly, I'm sure, be sharing it out there on the internet. You can also, if you're watching this right now, go to legendarymarketer.com/enroll and get started. Yeah, it's $7, the $7 confidence challenge. It's a beautiful thing. I love it. It's powerful.
Yes.
It's what people need. It's something that's so different that nobody's doing. Nobody's ever done anything like this before. Everybody's always just creating course after course on marketing and or how to start a business. And obviously even our blueprints have in our challenges, our marketing challenges have still been more than just that. They've taught both marketing strategies and business models and provided support and allowed you to talk to people and get coaching and advice and having daily calls. So it's not just a course. It's not just a skill set or a business model, but this confidence challenge is something that's totally, totally different. This is about addressing the root cause of why you are self-sabotaging
Yes.
in business after business that you do or try and have since the beginning. We all have our own self-sabotaging habits or patterns. It's about discovering what yours are and building, accountability, developing coping mechanisms, and just gaining awareness around where you are shooting yourself in the foot. Because as much as you may think or have been raised to think that it's other people that are holding you down, the truth is you are the only one that's holding you down. You
Yep.
are the only one that is standing in your way. And not physically, not in terms of the mechanics, you physically standing there, but mentally and emotionally, you are shooting yourself in the foot. How do I know? What do you know, Dave? How are you qualified? Because I've done it over and over again. And I've worked with and been in this place, this position to be able to see and work with tons of people over the last 15 years. And I've seen it time and time again. And so this is not about healing you. This is not about fixing you. This is teaching you how to take the things that you have and use them, those struggles, as your strengths instead of as your weakness, instead of as a liability to you. And that's what they are to so many people. Your past experiences, traumas and dramas that have happened in your life, things that your parents have said, past failed business experiences, they all work. You have not figured out how to turn those messes into messages, both to you, to inspire you, and to other people. So all that stuff that's happened in your life, it's like walking around with a big pile of rocks that you don't know what to do with. Instead, what we're going to show you in the confidence challenge is how to take those rocks and build something with it.
Yeah.
Make use of all that. It's not about denying that things happen in your life. It's not about turning into somebody that you're not. It's about going inside and digging up the best, most powerful version of yourself, because you finally figure out how to use all of the amazing weapons that you have, instead of them just, again, feeling like big boulders that you're carrying around. Does that make sense to you, Kellee? What comes up for you as I say that? And describe the confidence challenge in sort of this, metaphorical way.
So no, that all makes sense, because I realized yesterday, I am a perfectionist, and that's definitely a weakness for me. And sometimes I try to turn my weaknesses into strengths, right? But being a perfectionist is not good in this business. It just isn't, because my videos are never going to be perfect. My stuff is never going to be perfect. My ebook may have a typo, whatever it is, it's never going to be perfect. But that perfectionism holds me back, because I have a lifetime of feeling like I have to prove myself. I have a lifetime of feeling like I have to prove to people who I am and what I am, because of things that happened in my childhood. And I realized this yesterday while I was going through this confidence challenge during that visualization, and it kept taking me back to one thing that happened in my life, not even to me. I mean, it affected me, but one thing that happened in my family dynamic that changed a lot of who I am. And it was just wild. And I just have always felt like from that day forward that I had to prove myself to be something better. Like I had to prove myself to be something better. And so I've always been a perfectionist. Things always have to be right. And that's definitely something that weighs me down. And as I have been doing this business for as long as I have, I feel like I have consistently gotten better with that, but it still holds me back. And my ladies that are in my mentor group, we they know it, they've seen it, because I talk openly about some of these things with them, about the stuff that really keeps me from being who I truly want to be and desire to be. So yesterday it was eye-opening for me. And and so I started doing the 3 good things at the end of the day. I did that last night, and that was really good. And you guys, I'm telling you, this challenge is going to change some things for people, and I'm really excited about it. I'm excited to promote it. I'm excited for it, because this business, learning the skills that I needed to start this online business and actually choosing to pursue it. Because remember, I was not going to pursue this. I was just going to teach it to my high school students. But choosing to pursue it for myself, and choosing to put myself first and actually believe in myself, choosing to do that changed my life. It changed my life in every way. Where I'm sitting right now, I was not sitting here a year ago. The last time that I was on Wake Up Legendary, I was still in another home, and this one was being built. So this is my brand new office. That is just my office. It's not for anything else. I mean, my life has changed 100%. And I got the hat throw. Yes. I mean, I wouldn't be where I am today if it weren't for making that choice, and then continuing to better myself mentally, and continuing to believe in myself, and just continuing to work on my craft, and understanding that I'm not going to be perfect. It's never going to be perfect, but who I am is just okay. I mean, it's fine. It's good enough.
And that is our That is our message. That's always been my message, which is that you don't need a guru to complete you. We are not enrolling you in a cult here. We don't want you to come out to a private, retreat and drink Kool-Aid. We don't care if you ever come to one of our live events, never meet us you can play the wallflower and stay on the sidelines, never interact in our community. I mean, whatever you want to do there. Some people want to be on Wake Up Legendary. Some people want to come and give back. Other people, no way. My point is that in the most selfish sense, just speaking directly to your primal self, you need to learn this information, whether you learn it here or not, because moving forward, things like at least being on camera, things like understanding how to navigate social media, things like understanding how to use a sales funnel and an email autoresponder so you can market one-to-many to people instead of one-on-one. We're going into 2025. You can't even get a real human being on the phone anymore, let alone should you be marketing, picking up your phone, dialing somebody's number. That is a thing of the past. I mean, even fundraisers, we are not doing that anymore. That is not, the white pages are a thing of the past. That does not exist anymore. That style of marketing is not relevant anymore.
Yep.
So if you want to understand how to move products or sell things or reach people, you got to get this information. You have to know this. You have to understand this. You have to move from wherever you are to where we are right now in society in 2024, 2025. And that means that you need to learn how to do this stuff. And if you want to make more money, like Kellee, you were just talking about, and we're sharing this for credibility purposes. I mean, buy it, don't buy it. I'm even telling you, learn these skills, whether you learn them here or not. But Kellee, you quit your teaching job. You're now full-time. I mean, you're doing this and have done this full-time since at least, I think, a year or two. There was a period that you decided. How long after you started did you quit? And then I want to continue. I'm making a point here.
Okay. I started February 27th of 2022. So I finished that school year and then I taught the whole next school year. So I taught for about a year and a half after I started doing this. So juggling, teaching and doing this to really build a business took a lot of effort on my part and a lot of commitment and a lot of, for lack of a better word, stress. There was stress there, but I got it done. And then I was able to quit my teaching job. And I have been full-time now. I've been doing this full-time now for about a year and a half. Like I love being at home. I love the freedom.
And you did build your dream home. You are sitting now in the office of that home. I remember when that home was being built.
Yep.
I remember you coming to a mastermind and you and James sharing pictures of that. I know that you've shared those pictures with some of your audience as well. That's not a secret. It's your life. You've had to live, if I remember correctly, out of either a camper or an RV for a period of time where you were watching. The home wasn't ready, but you were ready to be on the piece of land. And so you just pulled up an RV. I remember all of that. I remember your journey. I've watched you. I've seen you come from nothing, from a newbie, a beginner. And friends, as you're listening to this, know that, I have seen all of this firsthand, and so all of the people who know Kellee have as well. And as extraordinary as I think you and James is, of course, I also have hung out with you. You've hung out with me.
Yeah.
We have a dirty little secret on each other. And that dirty little secret that we have on each other is, come in close, everybody. Kellee's actually just a normal human being who puts her pants on the same way as everybody else. And as extraordinary as she seems online, and she does, She is extraordinary. She does look like she has some sort of superpowers. I've actually seen her. I've even danced with her and her husband several times on the dance floor. They're quite the dancers, but they are truly human, very, very human. That's the dirty little secret. Just didn't want everybody, just wanted to try to whisper that. And has that been cool for you to go to events too and see that some of the other peers of yours and ours that are doing incredibly well are also not, there's nothing different about them in terms of there's something in here though that's different. That's what I believe is the similarities. Has that been cool for you to go to some of those mastermind experiences and meet other people?
Yeah. So I went to my first mastermind in December of 2022. I was not a speaker. I was just a guest in the room. Dave didn't know I was there. That was kind of funny because I showed up to the mansion and he was like, what? But I went to my first one and I got to meet the speakers. And these were people that I had been following online, that I'd hopped into lives and asked questions of, that I had sent DMs to, people that I really respected and looked up to. And I got to sit down and have a conversation with them and pick their brain and realize we are not, although we are competitors, it's better to collaborate, in my opinion. I can call, text, talk to these people and be able to bounce ideas off, ask questions, talk about frustrations maybe that I have, and, feel like I'm a part of something and have people who understand me. And I think that that is the biggest thing that people don't realize. Like, we have limiting beliefs. We still have imposter syndrome. We still struggle with those things. I still struggle with those things. I was on a call with Dave and Dave said to me that I was an expert marketer and I was speechless. And this was one of our calls just a little bit ago, but Dave said that to me and I legitimately was speechless because I do not see myself as that person. But the expert marketer in the room that has sold thousands and thousands and thousands of courses said that to me. And I saw myself in a way that I've never seen myself before. So thank you for that, Dave. But that was not a label that I would put on myself because I am just a teacher from Kansas. I live in the middle of the country, you guys. Like, just a teacher from Kansas. I don't do anything spectacular. I just go about my day. I live a pretty boring and, pretty boring life. But everybody else I've met at those masterminds is exactly the same as me. Just a healthcare worker from Kentucky, my friend Sarah. Phil's on here. I saw Phil in the comments just a little bit ago. Phil's from Atlanta, Georgia. He's just a normal guy, just like you and I. Just people who like to talk and have fun and do our thing. And so that was the year I did the pigs. I remember that year. There's just so much that I just love going to them because I get to actually meet real people and talk to people about what they're struggling with, what I can help with, all of those things. So I don't know if I answered that well enough. I don't know.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's one thing to go and learn. It's another thing also to kind of be around people and realize that, hey, look, these people put their pants on the same way that I do. And I really, I can do this, I got this. So no, you've been a speaker. It's been great. We love listening to you and learning from you. And you have earned the title of expert marketer. And you have put in that work. You have put in that, 10,000 hours. And if you're not there, you're well on your way, and that's what it takes, and many of you have also been doing some sort of entrepreneurial venture or something for, 2.5 years, and you flip-flopped around and, or you battled with some sort of a confidence issue and didn't follow through, you're good at starting things, you're not great at finishing or following through with them, that's a sign of lack of confidence. And so you have an opportunity now, my friends, to to work on that, to address that, to not just get more marketing information or education, which is always going to be great, and we're always going to have that here for you. But it's also about developing your confidence so you can do bigger and scarier things. Kellee, you speaking at this event, I know you're used to being in front of a room, but it's usually kids. I would assume you're now flexing your public speaking and teaching skills into new places, teaching adults. How does that feel to have been able to expand your teaching into these other worlds?
As a teacher, I always had no problem. I could get up, I could stand in front of, I don't know, 1,000 high school students in the gymnasium or in the auditorium and have absolutely no problems. But then you get me up in front of like 25 adults and I feel completely different about that. Like, who am I to be up here telling you what to do with your life? That's just always how I felt. But so the first time that I spoke at a mastermind, I was terrified, but I had so much fun with it. And once I got up there and realized that it was very much the same, I was just talking to people who were a little more mature and I could use a little different vocabulary. I really enjoyed it. I love going to the masterminds and teaching. Like but I mean, I'm a teacher. That's what I do. So it's always been pretty fun for me. But I try to do things that are a little, I guess, outside of the norm of what you would think you would get at a conference. I always try to do a little bit something different that makes people laugh or have fun, because that's what this is all supposed to be about. If we're supposed to be learning something that intrigues us and fulfills us, and we're supposed to be learning things that we want to do for a sustainable period of time. And so you have to have fun with it, because if you aren't having fun with it, then this just becomes a job and it's no different than your 9 to 5, right? So.
Yeah. No, look, you and your husband have a lot of fun. You guys are great examples of having fun both individually and together. We also have lots of fun at our events. There's a huge party which we've started doing, and I've loved it. Got many great dancing hours clocked with your husband specifically, but you as well, of course, out there just getting it done, and loving and living this life
Mhm.
of internet entrepreneurship. And you know as you said earlier, you had been teaching and involved in teaching entrepreneurship, brick and mortar, uh, and there's a lot of similarities, but there is some differences to internet entrepreneurship, and there's some benefits, and it's worth it. And I
Yeah.
think if anybody is qualified or credible to listen to that it's worth it, it's you, because you have been involved in teaching entrepreneurship for many years. What is some advice you could give to some people who are making that transition from either, well, let's start with the difference from making that transition from brick and mortar old school entrepreneurship to this new age online internet entrepreneurship? What's just one thing that people should be focused on or thinking about, or advice that you have for people who are making that transition and trying to get in that mindset?
I think when you're doing things online, it's easy to come up with excuses to not to do it. For not doing it. It's easy to say, "Oh, I didn't get that video made today. I'll get it made tomorrow." It's easy to say, "Oh, I didn't make a video today. I'll make 2 tomorrow." My best advice to you is to make a commitment, do it verbally. I did mine in front of 30 high school students, so make a commitment verbally, write it down if you have to, do something that actually makes it important to you. One thing I've always told a lot of my students, a lot of the people that I'm around in this business, is that if you treat this like a hobby, it will pay you hobby money. And I'm not here for hobby money, right? I'm here to make this my living. I'm here to put food on my table. I'm here to be able to live my life now instead of waiting until retirement. And if I were to treat this as though it's a hobby and just do it when it's convenient for me, then it's not going to be what I want it to be. So you have to truly look at yourself and ask yourself, what are you wanting out of this? Because if you just want a little bit of money, or you just want a little bit of time, or you just want a little bit of freedom, or you just want a little bit from it, then by all means, make it a hobby. But if you truly want something that's going to change your life, then you have to understand that this is a business and you need to run it as such, right? And the only difference to me between it being brick and mortar and online is that the principles to me are the same. It's just where you execute it that's different. It used to be maybe you'd hear things on the radio, or you'd see things on a commercial on TV. And instead of that, now you're watching people on YouTube, or you're clicking links through social media, or, you just have to be able to to show people your personality, and to show people who you are, and to build trust with your audience, and to go out there and just authentically have fun, authentically be you. And that's how you gather your people. It's so much more than brick and mortar, because brick and mortar, if I have a business in the little town that I live in, most of the time I'm just going to have the people in my town. But being online allows you to see and talk and meet so many different people. But if you only do it kind of, then you're going to kind of be successful. And I'm all about being successful, right? Like, this is my life. This is what I love to do. And I get to be creative and go make silly videos on TikTok. By all means, sign me up for that. Sign me up for that. Yeah. And but it also allows you, like, I have so much more freedom. To put that into perspective, when I was teaching, every single second of every single day that I had was scheduled. I knew when I could use the bathroom. I knew when I could eat lunch. I knew when I could make a phone call. I knew, when I couldn't do all of those things. And now I just get to be at home, and I get to do the things that I want to do. And so, bringing my husband back into this, my husband had open heart surgery 11 days ago. And I have been in the hospital or at home with him ever since. And I did not have to worry about making lesson plans. I didn't have to worry about what assignments my kids were going to do at school. I didn't have to worry about talking to my boss, working with FMLA. I got to be at home while my husband was healing from one of the scariest things that has ever happened to me in my entire life. And I got to be fully present during that. Instead of having to worry about other things, I got to worry about what was ultimately important. And that was the man that I, have been with 28 years ago today. He asked me to marry him. Okay. 28 years ago today. So that means a lot to me. It means a lot to me. And that's what's ultimately important for me. So yes. That's the man right there.
Oh, he definitely is the man. There's no doubt about that. And he's a man of men. I mean, he is the man, and the man can just break it down on the dance floor. We have a great time. I'm glad he's doing well. I'm glad you're doing well. I'm glad you guys are, together. Look at this guy. I mean, he's an absolute animal. He always has been. He always will be. I mean, no, he's another level. He's special. I'm glad you're well. I'm glad he's well. I'm glad you guys can be together. You deserve it. You're a wonderful couple. You're a beautiful family, and keep up the great work, Kellee. Thanks for your time today. I could keep you, and we could talk all afternoon. But I know that you have a family. James is there. You got a lot going on. You've had a big week. You've had a big 11 days. I'm just so happy that everything is okay, and that James is okay. Congratulations for all your success over the last 2.5 years. There's nobody that deserves it more than you. You guys can follow Kellee over on TikTok and Instagram at Building You Online. And Kellee, we love you so much. Thank you. Thank you for your time once again today.
Thanks, Dave.
All right. We'll talk to you later. Okay.
Bye.
Bye. All right, my friends, that is me and the famous James Roberts. You see him on the screen. A lot of fun. This is from a mastermind. That is Kellee's husband, James. He is a beast, and yes, I'm glad he's doing well, my friends. It's a blessing when something like this happens. I can relate to it. My father had open heart surgery last year. He unfortunately was unavailable and in the hospital for 88 days. I got to be there every day, and it was a lot. But thanks to these skills, this business, taking the time to learn it, and being able to have a business that allowed me to be more flexible. Of course, an amazing team around me, a great community, supportive. I don't know. It certainly feels better than I hear so many people describing how they feel about working in their job, And so I think our life is short enough that we should do and work in a way that makes us happy, that we should love both our business and our life, or our work and our life. And that's, I think, one of the reasons why you see me and so many other people come on here speaking the praises of these skills and these business models, because they allow us to build and create a life that we love. And so thanks again, Kellee. Have an amazing day, my friends. Be legendary. Get out of here. Thank you, Kellee, again for an amazing episode. Thank you, everybody, for the warm comments, the supportive stuff in the comment box. We appreciate you so much. We'll see you back here tomorrow for another episode. Get started with a confidence challenge right now. Go through it. Absolutely, you can share and promote it with people. I'm losing my voice because I've been talking about it so much over the past few days. And we'll see you back here tomorrow for another episode. Get out of here. Peace.